Hey guys, what's up? Your Boleros are back. I'm Dale and this is Sam and Gab. And we'll
Hello!
open the episode with Tatapang,
Tatapang,
Matatalino,
matatalino, walang
Kapal na
Walang
takot,
mukha mo
takot,
yung, Hoy,
kahit
kahit
na
kanino,
sino, hindi,
hinding
hindi,
atenista ka. Hoy,
magpapahuli.
magpapahuli.
sabi,
Ganyan,
huwag
Ganyan
ka
kami,
kami,
magkunwaring UP, ha?
mga
taga-UP,
taga-you.
Hindi.
Universidad ng
Wag.
Pilipinas.
Putang ina sa amin. Atenista ka. Sa,
Pinag-aralan ko yun sa PE.
sa,
Pinag-aralan niya before tayo mag-record.
sa dugo mo
Naliligo ako,
atenista ka, hindi
nag-cheer
ka
ako.
pwede mag-cheer ng ganyan, ha?
Teka. Saan ako
Again,
nag-college, Gab? Saan ako
Oh,
nag-college, Gab?
sino sinicheer mo, ha?
Ekis.
Ateneo, di ba?
Ekis.
Hindi porket
Excuse me.
live
Excuse
lang
me.
tayo sa podcast, ay ngayon mag-cheer ka ng UP.
Doon ako sa
Hindi pwede yan,
nananalo.
ha?
Puno
Doon
na
ako
yung
sa nananalo.
bandwagon. Okay. Usog-usog
Sobrang
yung mga...
bandwagoner eh. No?
Usog-usog po. Puno na. Puno na. Okay.
Spencer
Walang
talaga
space.
idol ko ever since. Tsaka si Carl Tamayo. Carl Tamayo,
Walang
binoto ko nga
space.
siyang Rookie of the Year eh. Oh.
Ay,
Tama
nako.
naman.
Ay, fuck.
So obviously guys, we are recording this a few hours after the amazing Game 1 win of UP versus Ateneo.
It wasn't amazing.
I'm opening the show so I can use all the adjectives I want. So it was an exciting OT game. Clinching the first game, we're one win away from the championship. First UAAP crown of UP since 1986. That's what's at stake right now. So, hindi na kami nag-antay. Talagang magre-record na kami agad right after
We had
the
to
game.
do this. Yeah.
Yep. Similar to the emergency pod that the guys did. Na-check ko na yung emotions ko at yung BP ko. Yes! Let's go! Stay tuned!
UP ako UP din ako. UP.
fight!
Hoy, yumayos na yung mood ko, ha?
Wow.
UP fight! So, feeling ko dapat medyo hindi naman ako yung mauna. Parang I let you guys have some air it out. Diba? Lahat ng nafe-feel nyo right
Mauna
now.
ka na.
Ayan, mauna si
I'll
Sam.
go ahead. As someone who's very balanced, you know, like I see both like Ateneo and sides.
Shut up.
Someone who has been to both schools na, you know, I'm still UP, you know.
Take out naman natin to.
Maroon blooded
Librong
din
ka
naman
na,
ako.
librong.
Hindi, okay, sige.
Kung nandyan ako, kukurutin ko utong mo, gago.
I know
This
you
will
would
be
do that.
our most censored episode ever.
Wala na. Paano ko ito i-edit? Wag na,
Lalagyan ko
wala na.
Lalagyan ko ng
Ay,
duct
18 na.
tape yung balbas mo, putik.
Tapos lagyan mo ng UP fight yung pang-censor mo ng lips ni Gab. Okay.
Lagyan ko ng duct
Okay.
tape.
Let's try to make sense of the game. Sam, go ahead.
I think I want to go back to what Gab said in the last podcast, or was it like the other episode? Sabi ni Gab, if you look at this UP team and you compare it to the UP teams in the past, it's so hard not to cheer for them. Kasi they play hard-nosed basketball. Sobrang may puso sila. And they're well coached. They play as a team. And, you know, syempre Ateneo yung chini-cheer ko, burat na burat ako. Pero you could really see that na parang this team plays like a team. They give it their best kahit na they're down 10 points, 14 points in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. They will give it their all until the end. And I saw that in the LaSalle game. I saw that in today's game also. So I think that's something that I've seen from UP consistently. Sabi natin, it was a choke job by LaSalle last time. But you know what? Just seeing them play against Ateneo again, na tapos ganun ulit yung nangyari, it's actually kind of similar to the LaSalle game. Also very similar to the Ateneo game, like the game that Ateneo lost nung last season. So it's hard to say na hindi mo rin masabi na malas yung other team or nag-choke yung other team. It's just that UP is that good. And sobrang may puso talaga sila. I think, yun, napag-usapan na namin to ni Gab before, UP has been talented in like the past few seasons, has been super talented than before. But etong team talaga, they play with heart. Sometimes it's Carl Tamayo, sometimes it's Zave Lucero, sometimes it's Richie. Sinasabi natin, alam mo si Richie talaga magaling lang, but hindi lang magaling kapag lasal. Pero on other teams, superstar siya, di ba? So, I think yun yung pinaka nakita ko from the team. Second, I think so in relation to that, yung may puso talaga tong UP na talagang they give it their all, they do their best kahit down 10 points sila. I think connected to that are the fans of UP. And there was this really good article actually. It was an interview with Zave Lucero. So supposedly, ang kwento is like 3 teams are recruiting him, UP, Ateneo, and LaSalle. And then sabi niya, the reason why he decided to go to UP was because of the fans, sabi niya.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
ang ganda daw ng support ng community ng UP, okay daw yung fans. And you can really see that. Admittedly, alam mo na, yung Ateneo at LaSalle kasi medyo ano lang yan mga alumni lang talaga, mga matatandang alumni, katulad namin ni Gavin, mga dads namin ang nagsusupport. But UP, when you watch UP, kahit nung banu pa sila, nung they were going up the ranks pa lang, and ngayong magaling na sila, talagang it's like a community of people that's cheering for them. It's really the students, the young people, and they really bring everyone together, no? I guess dahil marami ding mga taga-UP din, no? 'Di ba? So I think sobrang big factor 'yun. And alam mo, watching the game kanina nung humabol na UP, lumamang na sila, tapos parang I was
Paano ko
feeling it na
nanonood?
parang
Nakapikit yung isang mata.
hindi naman,
I-cringe
hindi
ka na.
naman. Yun nga, sobrang as in, alam ko nang natatalo na parang talo na to. Nakikita ko yung crowd. Parang, alam mo, it reminds me of like this other finals game. Ateneo versus UST. When UST beat Ateneo. Sobrang lakas lang talaga nung cheer nung UST crowd na yun. Na you can really feel na manalano ala tong UST kasi dun pa lang from the crowd pa lang sobrang intense, and dun ko unang talagang na-experience yung go uste. So that was such a different experience for me, that finals game against UST. And I sort of remembered that experience ngayong game na to with like Ateneo and UP. And dun ko na-realize na, nga, tama si Zave. Iba rin talaga yung fans ng UP, manalo matalo talagang lalaban. I guess like on Ateneo side, I've not that, on the game, I don't have that much to say, to be honest. Few things lang stood out for me. Ateneo shot 11 of 25 from the free throw line. Richie Rivero shot 11 of 11. I think 20 of 24 yung UP, so they only missed 4 shots. So in terms of attempts, free throw attempts, same lang. But UP only missed 4 free throws. Ateneo missed more than half. And remember, Dale, on the first Ateneo UP game, that was the key stat that you pointed out, na UP missed more than half of their free throws. So this time it's Ateneo. Tapos, we lost Dave Ildefonso. I parang nawala siya during this game. He had 6 points and 6 turnovers. I think those are the things that really killed Ateneo. So hopefully they make their free throws, and hopefully we see like a better performance from Dave. And then I think pati si SJ nung end of the game parang na-sprain, natapakan yata si Spencer or something. So hopefully gets back. Last point lang, I guess, for UP naman. I think UP is peaking at the right time. So like if I'm a gambling man, I would bet on UP na to win. Obviously lamang sila 1-0, and parang they're really peaking at the right time. And then James, the Ateneo killer Spencer, ay lalo ko pa siyang ayaw kasi twice na niya, oh my God, crucial threes, twice, back-to-back games. I think both threes were game-tying threes, diba? So Oh my God, I hate that guy. That's all I can say.
Hip 3 yung kanina, ang lapit niya sa
At,
logo. All the
oo
way
nga eh.
from Diliman.
Sabi nga ng dad ko, ba't wala siyang bantay? I'm like, ba't mo siya babantayan? Nasa may logo siya eh. Bad trip. Anyway, kudos to UP again and to the coaching staff. Coaching staff.
Yeah.
They had great stops, sasabihin ko.
Okay.
At the end of the fourth quarter. It's the same thing that happened to Lasal except yung sa Ateneo, 'di ba? Half court inbound play naman yung hindi nila magawa-gawa. They had like a bunch of half court inbound plays na binabato na lang nila. Tapos like yung dalawa ended up like 1 second, 2 seconds for Ateneo, and then may isa yung turnover ni Mamu that led to like the Carl Tamayo fast break. So again, super solid defense from UP. Anyway, I'll stop. Thoughts, Dale?
Sure. So, obviously, very emotional game. So, buti na lang may ilang hours after the game before tayo mag-record. So, I wanted to start lang siguro since you guys did the emergency pod, diba? If I had the chance to join that, so I watched that, kung ano yung naging thoughts niyo. And you did like a short preview of this series. And if I had the chance to join that pod, parang for me, my main key to the series was basically UP had to win the first game for us to even have a chance at the championship. Parang for me, kung matatalo kami sa game 1, Ateneo is just too experienced, too mature not to take the chance for a 4-peat in 2 games. Parang mako-close out na kami and it will just be so disheartening kung matalo kami sa game 1. So this game was super crucial for us to take the win. Feeling ko naman aabot ng 3 games, honestly, yun yung parang prediction. But this game, at least to me, like a few days ago, must win na siya for UP. So on to the game. And I super agree with what you said, Sam, na parang, di ba, we've been saying na yung ibang games, parang it was the other team to lose. It was for the other team to lose that game. Na choke job, ganyan. Yung sa Lasal, nakita natin yun, it was their game to lose. And even the round 2 matchup kay Ateneo, I think it was Ateneo's to lose. But yun yung breaks of the game, di ba? Bilog ang bola, fine. But I think for this game specifically, the guys worked their asses off during all of those defensive stops talaga. And tinrabaho nila yung win na ito, and no one can take that away from them. Hindi na siya yung, kasi hindi lang nag-execute or kasi pangit yung calls sa kabila. No, this was UP's game. Not all the way, fine, but we did everything at the right moment and we executed well. So for me, yun yung crucial na mapatunayan din ng team, not just to their fans, but also to themselves na hindi porket hindi lang maganda yung performance ng kalaban nila, saka sila nananalo. We can actually perform and be at par with the number 1 team in the league. And kung meron nga tayong parang ballers of the game or whatever, parang for me, yung 3 main baller things was, first half, it was an ugly game, but UP did enough. Hindi nakalayo yung Ateneo. And for me, that was important. That's what we didn't do the first time that we met Ateneo. Kaya ang laki ng lamang nung game na yun, round 1. Diba? But round 2, we kept it close all the way. And at least the first half. And then it was the same thing that happened today. Gritty first half. We didn't let Ateneo pull away. Even if it was an ugly offensive game, like we were there. And then of course, second very baller thing that they did, defense talaga. Defense leads to offense. And this is where UP showed our strength, and they've been showing it in the biggest stages of this whole season. Kanina sabi din, so I was watching the broadcast and may mga random stats sila. And during the OT period, Ateneo was scoreless for 3.5 minutes. Parang they had 3 shot clock violations, and all of those things happened because ang kulit ng UP They were everywhere, hands everywhere, very pesky. So it was on full display, 10-0 run to end that OT period. And that was all defense of UP. That was all energy from everyone on the court. And then for me, the most baller siguro is si Coach Goldwyn. You guys have already talked about this. The other rosters of UP, very talented, very stacked. We had Bright, we had the GBLs, we had Kobe, Manzo, di ba?
Richie.
Richie, ang daming dumaan. Very, very talented on paper. But laging kulang, laging paasa. And as a UP fan, di ba, parang iba lang yung feeling ngayon. Iba yung feeling seeing them run plays. Yung kay Spencer, sinabi niya nga sa interview, it was a designed play by Coach Gold. So, it was a breath of fresh air to hear players say that, ay, may dinraw up na play si Coach. And hindi siya yung, bato mo kay person A, he'll make magic happen na ISO play lang. No, it was Coach. So I think Coach Goldwyn is the X factor in this final series, and game one proved that. And then I guess the intangibles also. I couldn't agree more. Obviously, as a fan, di ba? Parang feeling ko it's very obvious for me to talk about the puso of this team, and I think they're the most puso in among all of the UAAP teams now. You can really see it in all of the games. They've been in so many close games this season, so many comeback games, and as much as we're a young and inexperienced team, I think yung close games na yun help fast track the maturity. Yung parang yung learning curve din. They really have to mature and to gel in all of those crucial minutes. And look at where we are now. We're finding a way to close the games when it matters the most. And we're closing the games in against against good teams as well, against Lasal, against Ateneo, di ba? So for me, that yung intangibles, hindi mo rin siya maaalis. And I guess side note slash final note, you guys talked about this a bit during the emergency pod. So si Richie wasn't part of the closing minutes nung last game, di ba? And Coach Goldwyn stuck with Carl, and we all know what happened there. So I think that move was slightly like a wake up call for Richie. Parang challenge, feeling ko lang challenge siya to Richie. Um, he was being challenged by coach to kung kaya niya talagang gumawa ng tamang decisions in the clutch, if he can avoid making boneheaded plays. And I think this time around he did. I don't think pilit yung naging um, last place niya, especially yung sa OT nung nag-end one na siya. So, I think that the game before this, yung ginawa ni Coach Goldwyn na tactic, na move na yun, na binangko niya si Richie, I think it paid dividends now, where we saw Richie blocking, where we saw Richie making his free throws in the crucial time, and making the right decisions. So, it was an amazing game again for us. Like, hindi ko na alam ang sasabihin pa how much I love this team right now. So, konti na lang. We'll be over the hump soon. I hope the next time we record the pod, champion na yung UP. UP fight.
Hindi yan.
Go ahead, Gab.
Okay, so I'm gonna siguro I'm gonna bring two halves to my spiel today. So I'm gonna talk about from a basketball nuthead standpoint, and I'm gonna talk about from a fan standpoint. Okay, from a basketball nuthead standpoint, I'm nothing to say about the UP crowd. They were the better crowd. I think they formed 70% of the arena from what I saw. From what
Nakita ko nga eh. Nakita ko
from
from
what
the screens eh. Doon
yeah
ako parang na-goosebumps din eh.
from what my uh friends showed me in their stories or whatever. So yeah, they have the feeling of that 2017 Ateneo team which beat Lasal, the Monster Lasal team. So they have that you going for them. Also, Ateneo also lost this game also. I have to say it. It's not just yung UP won this game, but Ateneo also lost this game. 16 turnovers, 14 missed free throws. Yung I wanted to throw the anything. I said, make your free throws. Make your free throws. Uh, so yun, that did us in. Even me and my dad, when the game was finished, sabi namin, free throws, no? Yeah, free throws. We missed so many. We missed so many free throws. Uh, Also, Ateneo seemed tired. I don't know. I think fatigue finally caught up, especially in that overtime period. They just weren't executing. They weren't running the system. They weren't trying to get free. They seemed tired. Dave seemed tired, or maybe he tweaked something at the start of the game, but he
Feel
seemed
ko nga
tired.
feel ko.
Yeah, he seemed tired. He seemed out of it. Uh, they didn't have the burst, that same energy. Uh, UP just had more energy, and that's strange. And they had momentum. You're coming off a big win over LaSalle. Uh, got nothing to say about that. They just outplayed Ateneo in the fourth quarter and overtime. And I kind of call that James Penn that play in the last few seconds, because they were obviously going for a 2-for-1. There was 27 seconds left on the clock, and I told my dad already, "Man, they're going for a quick basket here because they want the ball back. If ever they miss it, they want the ball back." Sakto, it was a quick play. When Spencer shot the three, was in, to my dismay and to everyone else's dismay. But yeah, great play.
Everyone else dismayed ba? Parang 30% lang ng arena.
Everyone else is dismay. Everyone else. Everyone else. Okay, so that's the basketball nut standpoint. Now from the fan standpoint, if we're making a bolero, it's the refs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and it's true. Uh, Kudos to UP for playing physical defense, but the refs allowed them to play physical defense. There was a certain amount of physicality allowed by the ref that was not given the same to Ateneo. I just gotta say it. Um, there were a couple of fouls on Ateneo players boxing out Malik Juf when he was clearly going over the top of them to grab them. That's an over the back foul. I mean, I don't get it how. Oh, this is the fan. I just say it. This is the fan in me, not the basketball analytic, but this is the fan that it's kind of frustrated. And they gave Coach Tab a technical for reacting to his player's own missed free throw.
I was gonna
That
say,
is,
parang,
diba? That
saan
is
ba nanggaling
stupid.
yung technical na yun?
Diba?
Hindi
Coach
ko
Tab
din na,
regularly gets a technical per game for complaining because he complains a lot.
Not
But
an
he did not.
Ateneo game without a tech for
Yeah,
Coach
but
Tab.
that was stupid. That was a giveaway point to UP. I'm sorry. he was he was clearly reacting to, I think it was Chris Kuhn. A Chris Kuhn missed free throw, and he reacted. He cursed or something to his player missing another two free throws, and they gave him a technical. I'm like, what the hell? How can you give a technical for a coach cursing his own player? That is not yun. And there are a lot of instances where it was early in the game, yung not late in the game, so I give UP that. But early in the game, even in the third quarter, there was a lot of physicality on UB and a lot of grabbing, shorts grabbing. I saw a lot of shorts grabbing, shirt grabbing, and on the other side, small bump, small tap, it's a foul. And that's kind of frustrating from a fan side, from an Ateneo fan side, that UP was allowed a lot of physical defense. Ateneo was not. Siguro this is stemming off their the narrative of the revenge against Tab Baldwin. But yeah, it seemed 8-5 for most of the game. Um, what else did I notice in that game? Yun, and yeah, in the fourth quarter, Ateneo just seemed tired. Although I disagree with Dale though about the first uh half or second quarter where she said that hindi nakalayo yung Ateneo. I was actually surprised na hindi nakalayo ang UP because the second quarter was played without Ange Kwame.
Wala si
Sabi ko
Kwame.
nga, sabi ko if Ateneo wins this game, I'm gonna give runner-up baller to Gio Chu because he held down the fourth in the second quarter. The fact that UP only led by one after the second quarter was a miracle. Oh, you're shaking your head, Sam. Why are you shaking your head?
Sobrang non-factor si Gio Chu. I think sobrang malas lang talaga ng UP nung second quarter. Inalat din sila.
Yeah.
Kasi Gio Chu he couldn't touch the ball. Hindi niya mawakan every time
Yeah,
ipasa sa kanya, hindi niya mawakan. Tapos sa rebound, hindi niya rin ma-rebound. Sa akin talaga, pag wala si Kwame talo Ateneo eh. UP's just too big. Kahit nga wala si Diouf, may Tamayo and Lucero pa eh. I was so frustrated nung second quarter nung nandun si Gio. Parang, oh my God, I just couldn't watch this. I couldn't watch the game when Kwame was out of the lineup. So I'm
I
just gonna
disagree
watch the
though.
third
Yung,
quarter.
I kind of disagree because he was contesting a lot of those shots. He was rotating well. Oh yeah, he turned the ball over a couple times. You know the butterfingers thing. I was frustrated too. Yung minura ko rin siya at some point. Parang, catch the freaking ball.
Meron din siyang
But
weird turnover, di ba? Yung sa may
Nadulas.
parang, okay. I don't know.
yeah,
Basta may weird turnover
it
siya.
comes and goes. But the fact that we survived the whole quarter without Ange Kame
But
kind of
that's
says
only
something.
because kasi nga hindi kami nakaka-shoot. Like for
Yeah,
the
because
third game na ata, hindi kami marunong mag-field
because the
goal.
defensive rotations and the contests were there, and that's what I have to give. Yeah, bro, it's true. UP missed shots also, but yeah, nga, surviving one quarter without Ashcom, I have to give to Gio Chu, man. He boxed out well. He didn't grab a lot of rebounds. Didn't finish a lot of plays, but we survived. I mean, it's just survival now without Ange for one quarter. And I kind of called it, Sam. Matthew Daves, nilaro. Josh
Dami niyang
Lazaro.
minutes.
Josh Lazaro went to the bench,
Wala.
didn't play a single minute. Diba, I told you, we need more size to combat UP. And I was clamoring in the emergency pod. They should play Matthew Daves more.
And I think Matthew Daves gave them solid minutes kahit na he had to sit down na agad.
Yeah. For first three quarters, actually sa fourth quarter lang talagang sumabog si Lucero eh. But for the first three quarters, he was a non-factor because Rafi Verano outplayed him for three quarters. Matthew Daves defended him very well, and even Chris Kuhn had some possessions on him. And you know, sa fourth quarter lang talaga. So sayang, kudos to Zave though. The hustle plays were there. That guy, man, hustle plays
Hindi talaga
all
siya
around.
napapagod. Like, ang dami niyang clean up, di ba?
Yeah, and you know, that's where I noticed that Ateneo seemed really tired. You know, no box outs in that fourth quarter. Missed assignments all around. You know, just they felt like they didn't want it as much as UP, which is why I give credit to UP for that. And yun lang, the overtime period, what do I have to say? Wala, outplayed ang Ateneo. Outplayed, and yeah, the fatigue was there. I have to say, that's my main takeaway. They look tired. It was weird because UP came off a close game against LaSalle, but Ateneo seemed tired. That's it. But Boleros has to go to the refs though. That was bad. That was so bad. As
I
in,
mean, if it was so bad, like seriously, edi sana nakalayo din naman kami ng, as in, malayo. Hindi rin naman eh. So parang,
yeah, because nga, you miss shots as well, and
yeah, so
uh,
for me, hindi dapat na factor yung refs kasi
I
hindi
think
rin
no, no,
naman,
no, no.
I mean, it
I
didn't move the
I think
needle
they
either
are.
way.
Yeah, I think they are. If you notice the physicality that UP was playing with, uh, it's kind of bullshit that tiki-tak fouls are called on Ateneo side, but on UP side,
But at this
grabbing
point, Ateneo and
grabbing
Coach Tab,
shorts and jerseys are not called. That
Ateneo
is,
should expect that at
uh,
this point. You guys should know this already.
it's not an expectation for refs to be biased.
It
Just
didn't
saying.
move the needle.
Pero yeah,
Just saying.
to be fair, Rafi was complaining na laging hinihila daw yung jersey
Yeah,
niya.
and
He
then,
was like
so many
signaling na
times,
sobrang
so many times you could
hinihila
see it
jersey niya.
that they were grabbing jerseys all around, and they were really complaining. As you could say, "Parang they're grabbing our shorts, they're grabbing our jerseys. Why are you calling that?" And yun lang. I just think if you're gonna allow for that physicality on UP side, you should allow it for the safe side. To Ateneo to be more physical as well. Just my thoughts from Ateneo fans perspective. Just my thoughts. It was seen on TV. They were complaining a lot that, hey, they're grabbing us, and they weren't calling it.
Okay, so we've talked about the game. Looking ahead now to game 2, what does Ateneo have to do to win? And then what does UP have to do to get their first championship since 1986? Dale?
We have to have a strong start again. Like, kung
For
hahabol man,
UP. For
for
UP.
UP. Hindi pwedeng, feeling ko nasasanay na sila na naghahabol. But having a strong start, getting Carl Tamayo going early, and hopefully Zave Lucero also, get him going early. That would help. I want to see the youth improve. Parang the past 2 games, medyo nakakairita yung mga, I think pinag-usapan niyo to sa pod last time. Yung mga bato niyang, andun na yung momentum, tapos binato lang niya. So, I feel like Diouf has to um, clean up a bit and make sure that he follows the game plan because we need him to do what he does best in the post, and we need his size obviously. So I feel like he has to step up sa next game. I feel like the community of UP will be extra hungry and extra loud on Wednesday because this is history. Again, since 1986. So the crowd will be there to get the energy going, but the players also has to focus like crazy. Like, minsan may tendency si UP and even and the backcourt, most especially of UP, gigil na gigil sila sa bola. Kagulangan, Fortea, and Abadiano. And Alarcon also is playing na nga pala, big minutes for us. I feel like they have to be more calm and composed with the ball, especially at the start. Kasi laging doon nadadali. Kung ang daming pinapalit-palit ni Coach Gold na guards kasi may quick fouls or no one's really setting up any plays. So those for me are keys for UP.
Okay. Ikaw naman, Gab. For Ateneo, what does Ateneo need to do to bounce back? Assuming na obviously you can change whatever the refs will decide. Let's just say na ganyan pa rin yung physicality that they will allow. What does Ateneo need to do to bounce back for Wednesday?
Just bring more energy. That's the we lost by energy plays. Honestly, the UP comeback in the last few minutes was all energy, offensive rebounds, going after loose balls. And on the Ateneo side, they just weren't they look tired. So 2 days rest. Hopefully they get some rest. I don't know why they need that much rest. Oh yeah, well actually, both teams need a lot of rest. They played every other day this whole season. So yun. Did anyone see the press conference? What were Coach Tab's comments? I'm interested to see Coach Tab's comments.
Wala nag-check
Meron
ako
na
ng
ba?
Twitter, wala akong nabasa eh.
Ang
Nag-check ako ng
nabasa ko
Twitter
pala
right
kasi yung
before.
sa press con ni Coach Goldwyn. So, wala pa ata yung sa atin eh.
I
So
think
yun, bring more energy for Ateneo side. They weren't executing in the end game because they just seemed tired. They weren't going after the ball. They didn't have the same explosiveness, and we had to have more scoring from Dave. Yeah, you pointed it out, Sam. Dave was absent. I was telling my dad when I was watching this game. They're not playing Dave, no. The whole fourth quarter, Dave was
whole
nowhere to
fourth,
be seen.
wala. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, where's Dave? Is he injured or something? Uh, so and
Diba
when he came back,
may time na parang dumugo yung sa
yeah,
lips niya. Third
yung
quarter ba
lips.
yun?
No, third,
Third
second, I
ata,
think.
third.
Parang third.
Third
I don't
ata,
know.
third. No
Yun.
second ata siya na injure yung parang
First,
ay first
the
na
first siya
injure
na,
siya.
Ah,
yung
okay.
first quarter, I think he tweaked his knee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yun. So, and he didn't have the same explosiveness, didn't have the same aggressiveness. So yun, you got to get more scoring because the defense is there. The defense will always be there. The offense just didn't keep up, and they got hit. Got hit those free throws, man. Got hit those free throws.
Yeah.
Matindi ng practice to.
Actually, no overtime napansin ko nung naglalaro. 'Di ba overtime linaro na niya si Dave eh. Pero I think like he brought down the ball. Tapos nakikita ko awkward takbo niya. I think he was like favoring one leg.
Yeah.
Feel ko he really got affected by the knee injury then.
Yeah, and he wasn't driving. He was
Just
wasn't
waiting
looking for a
outside
shot.
ganyan.
Yeah, he wasn't looking for a shot. He was looking for SJ all the time. When he got the ball, SJ, saan ka? Ikaw yung kumuha ng ball. He was really signaling for SJ.
Yeah.
Get the ball because I think it was really bothering him. We didn't have the same explosion. Yun. Ikaw naman, Sam.
Yeah, so feel ko lang just on that point, no, parang feel ko dapat hindi na pinilit ni Tab. Hindi naman niya linaro si Dave nung fourth eh. Dapat hindi na niya binalik ulit nung overtime. Parang bahala na. Do what he can with the existing healthy players that he has. Because honestly, like, it felt like 4-on-5 nung buong overtime. Because like Dave would just get the ball and then pass it back to someone else. But yeah, definitely for Ateneo to win, I feel like hopefully we get back our guys in a Dave and SJ. Although to be fair to UP, hindi pa rin naglaro si CJ, si Fortea lang yung naglaro. If you look at rebounds, UP won by only one rebound, 51-50. So I'm actually surprised because it felt like Ateneo got out-rebounded again. Kasi nung fourth quarter na yon, those were crucial offensive rebounds ng UP, diba? Like that, when Carl Tamayo missed both free throws tapos na-rebound ni Zave, that parang may mali doon eh. Dapat like, shouldn't Ange have boxed out Zave Lucero on that
Dalawa
end?
sila
Kasi,
dun, si Kwame and si Verano.
yeah,
But
tapos
Zave
wala naman
got
si Dioff, diba? But Zave was the one who got it. To Gab's point, baka they were just tired. Zave had more energy. Siya yung mas may puso. Pero I feel like, those were like crucial rebounds na we missed. So feel ko if Ateneo can do even better in the next game when it comes to rebounding, that would be a big thing. Kasi I think UP really lives off like their second chance points. What else? Honestly, I don't know, like, I just really feel like UP has the momentum now. So I think for UP to win, just keep doing what you're doing. Like yung gritty, hard-nosed defense. If nanghihila nga sila ng jersey and it's not being called, I mean,
It's
just keep
bullshit.
doing what you're
Try to
doing.
do
It's
it again.
bullshit. It is bullshit. It's bullshit, really. Sam, you've played basketball, di ba? Pang hinihila yung jersey mo, tas ikaw manghila, tas ikaw itatawagan ng foul, anong mararamdaman mo?
Siyempre, mabuburat ako. Pero,
Diba?
But do something about it in
Dale,
other
pero Dale,
ways.
hindi
Like,
naman
come
pwede
Dale,
yun.
on.
Dale, Dale,
Hindi
hindi,
naman
if
pwede
you've
yun.
played
I think,
basketball, alam mong hindi
No.
yun, hindi ganun.
I
pero
didn't
Gab,
mean na do something dirty or whatever. I meant like, hindi ba dapat na fire up man lang sila? During the OT, only Kwame was the only one who scored in that OT
Yeah,
period. So
I'm
parang,
not talking
I
about
mean,
the OT
walang
period
fire up
naman. I
man
mean,
lang.
yung nga, in the fourth quarter in the OT, it was just lack of energy on Ateneo side and more energy on UP side. But throughout the game, uh, it it's just frustrating to see that the refs call something on one end but don't call it on the other. It's just inconsistency. And you know, if you're playing basketball, tapos ikaw, you're being called for everything. You'll back away. You don't want to commit fouls. And when they're getting away with it, diba? It's kind of, it'll piss you off and it'll throw you off your game.
This
Uh,
isn't the first dance of Ateneo in the finals. Parang for me, my point lang is, fine, you see that style of calls from the refs. Do something about it in a sense now that will fire up your whole team or whatever and play through it. That's what championship teams do. You're a three-time champion.
yeah,
Do
but
something about it.
it's easy to say do something about it, but when you're in the game itself and you're not
On the
allowed
flip
to
side, it's
play,
easy
you're
for,
now
I
to
think,
play
it's easy
defense the
for
way you should. It's kind of,
I
you
think it's
know,
easy for Ateneo fans to say that right now because you guys lost. So,
it's a Ateneo fan thing. Yung that's why I said I split my analysis into two. The analytical side and the angry Ateneo fan side. So this is the angry Ateneo fan because I have a lot of pent up anger in me. And from Ateneo fan perspective, the refs are bullshit today. Honestly, they were. Of course, if we won, I wouldn't complain. Tama ka. Yung nanalo eh. But from just seeing the game mismo is kind of frustrating and knowing how a player how I play basketball as well when the other team's getting the calls that you aren't getting, it's kind of frustrating. It's easy to say do something about it, but when in the confines of the rules of the game, it's pretty hard, especially when the other team is given some sort of leeway that you're not. It's truth.
but yeah, I guess like just to end my point, I guess parang for UP, um, hindi sila consistent on offense, but in the past few games, defense sila consistent. So I think for UP to win game 2 and get their championship, I think they just continue on that like end. Make sure they make crucial stops. I mean, they've been down in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter in the past two games. So they've made their run. So as long as I think even so Dale said they need to get a good start, whatever. But I feel like even though they have a bad start or even though down pa rin sila, as long as they play good defense for like the 40 minutes, I think they're gonna keep it close and they're gonna give themselves a chance to win. Because I think right now sabi ko, UP is speaking at the right time, and I think UP has all the confidence in the world to sort of like beat Ateneo na feel ko like kahit down sila 20
They
points
do.
and feel
They
ko like
they do.
yeah.
They feel like so I'm talking about from Ateneo's perspective because I watch more Ateneo games. They feel like the 2002 Blue Eagles and the 2017 Blue Eagles, the team that's got nothing to lose, and UP's playing
Yeah.
that
Yep.
they've got nothing to lose. Uh,
yeah,
Yeah.
Ateneo, you need to play that way.
yeah, yeah.
Spencer
They're not
alluded to
playing that.
that eh. Yeah. Doon sa press con, Spencer alluded to that doon sa three-pointer niya. Parang because the reporters were asking him nga na, uy, ang layo mo pa, di ba? That was such a deep three. And parang sa kanya, yun lang naman yung sinabi sa amin ni coach eh. If pagbato sa akin, feeling ko okay, pabato ko, I'll let it fly. And no pressure talaga. He just let it fly.
Yung kaya niya mag-Tagalog, di ba? He's a
Ay, hindi.
Brit or something.
I'm
Okay,
ano na
kala ko
translate.
nagtagalog. I was thinking, ha? Nagtagalog siya? Di ba?
Masyado mo
Di
na
na.
literal, Gab.
I
Hindi,
can't.
sabi niya, yung sabi
Sinabi
ni
niya
Hindi
Spencer,
yung
yan
I
what the
let it
quote.
fuck?
fly.
Wait
Translated
lang.
yan. Translated yan.
Translated.
Okay.
Ang quotes would be yung I let it fly with the
Okay,
Aussie
okay. Sige,
accent.
sige, sige. Yung medyo nagulat ako na nagtagalog si James Spencer because
Then,
I've never seen an interview where he spoke in Filipino.
translated na po. Translated without the accent. But yeah. Walang pressure dun sa tira na. Parang, sige, babato ko.
Okay, any predictions for game 2 just before we end this?
We're going to game 3, man.
Yeah, same. We're going to game 3.
I'm not as
Yeah.
confident. Parang di ko nga kayang manood ng game 2 eh. Parang masyado akong stress.
Hindi ko
I feel like
kayang
I'm gonna
mag-call
skip
ng
game
ano.
2.
Wow.
Skip ko na game 2.
Ano,
May
Sam,
work ako eh. May work din ako.
dadalhin ko ba si Iya?
Ha?
Fine.
Yung sabi mo sa akin nung Sunday, di ba?
Huwag dalhin.
Si Iya yung swerte na siya.
Oh,
Kaya wag ko siya dalhin.
alam mo, feel ko si Emma yung swerte eh. Kasi lahat ng games na pinanood niya, panalo UP eh. She's
Sabi mo
the
kay
only
Emma,
games,
dapat mag-livestream kami.
the only
Sakto,
games,
kasi sa bahay, wala siyang signal play, saka wala siyang TV. So kung dadalhin ko siya sa bahay,
Okay.
wala.
Oo.
So kung di ko siya dadalhin sa bahay, hindi siya makakanood.
Hindi siya makakanood.
Again, shout out to Signal and TV5 for not making live stream available to everyone.
Up to the very end, sila yung main bolero.
Okay.
Pero, yun lang,
Sige,
last lang
Dale.
for me.
Close it na.
Hindi-
Close it
No,
na.
I
As, ano,
can't bring myself to say na hindi, mananalo na kami ng game 2. Kasi ilang years na kaming may mga
May trauma
paasa
ka na.
games. But again,
May
di ba,
trauma ka
parang may ibang episodes na sinabi ko, parang PTSD from all of our close missed games from the past season. So I really feel like we'll have a game 3 and it will be much better for fans and for this podcast. More things
Actually,
to talk
Sam,
about.
Actually, Sam, the way you're speaking right now is actually how I feel inside. But this is the heart of the Atenean talking. We're
heart
going
of
to
the
game 3.
card.
The heart of the card, the heart of the Atenean talking in me that we'll win game 2. We'll win game 2 and go to game 3. And when game 3 happens, yun
Yeah.
na.
All hell
Yun na.
breaks
So,
loose. Wala nang X and
but
O's.
sa loob-looban ko, Sam, I'm reacting the same way. Parang, fuck, I feel like UP has all the momentum.
Oo nga
SJ's injured, Davis injured.
Davis injured, wala na.
They're not playing with the same amount of energy. So how you're reacting right now is how I'm reacting deep inside. But for the sake of this podcast and to inspire all my fellow Ateneans out there and the team, I'm gonna say we're going to game 3.
To inspire the 3 Ateneans listening to our podcast.
To be fair, we're all reacting considering all of the past traumas and like all of the context and history that we're all bringing into this episode. Talaga, like ako, ayoko mag-call, ayoko ma-jinx. Takot ako sabihin na makukuha namin ng game 2. Kasi hindi, mag-game 3. So, very fair. Like, I guess lahat tayo, same ng pinanggagalingan.
I know. Okay, but I think one thing's for sure. Everybody's looking forward to game 2. Feel it's going to be a close one again. It's going to be an exciting one again. We'll see. We'll see who wins. If we're going to get a champion on Wednesday or we're going to have a game 3.
Yeah, ito lang for me. Okay lang manalo UP. They got the Kiko bump. Kiko was there. I'm fine with it. Pag manalo si Lenny sa Kiko bukas, sige na, ibigay na yung championship sa UP, yung parehas na taga-UP, okay lang. So manalo si Lenny sa Kiko.
Nung laban ng Lasal, yun na yung tinweet ko na parang okay lang na matalo yung UP basta manalo si Lenny. Yun na yung tweet ko. Tapos parang,
actually,
oh no, after the 4-minute mark, pwede pala sila manalo both.
yeah, so siguro ganito na lang to, I guess, like close this game 1 pod. I guess parang key take away then for me, we all said na Ateneo was the team to beat this season. Sabi natin, sila yung magiging number 1 team this season. Sila yung sure makakapuntang finals. Not everyone picked UP to be number 2 or picked UP to go to the finals. Although we said na magaling din naman si UP. It was really like even all the experts, all the analysts, 'di ba? Sabi naman nila talaga Ateneo eh. Syempre, three-peat, tab system, they still have their best players, some of their best players, SJ, Ange, balik si Dave. I guess this game just it goes to show na alam mo, number 2 can beat number 1. So, siguro just to end the pod. Oh, yun lang, that's something that really gave me hope watching that game. Even though I was cheering for Ateneo, it sort of gave me hope na there's always a chance. Kahit na sabihin mong sila yung favorites by far, sila pinakamagaling, sila number 1 sa lahat ng
Comeback.
stats, sa lahat ng based on analysts, sa
Given
lahat
the
ng
current
experts.
climate, sige, I'll give you that analogy for now.
Alam
But
mo,
on any
Ay,
other
no,
day,
I'm just
I won't
saying.
give you.
No, I'm just saying for today, this game, we can say na number 2 can beat
It's better
number
than
1.
one.
Sige,
So,
pwede na.
don't forget everyone, tomorrow, please vote. Alam mo, sa next podcast natin, hindi yung Ateneo UP yung parang kalanata natin pag-usapan muna. Yung magiging results ng elections yung parang mas kinakabahan ako. But,
Hindi ko yung anxiety ko medyo through the roof na eh. Hindi
So,
nakakatulong itong mga games.
ay, grabe. So let's hope and pray na, yung tamang mga pinuno ang manalo sa election natin bukas. Okay, that's it for us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you on Wednesday? I don't know. Whatever.
Let's see.
Basta,
Let's
we'll see. We'll see. Depende sa mood naming lahat.